Hey love, so I wanted to share with you today a technique to discern your relationship's major themes by looking at the Synastry chart and the composite chart. So the first thing to look at, and a very important thing to look at when you are reading a Synastry chart, is double whammies. So what is a double whammy? A double whammy, for example, would be my Venus is conjunct your Mars, and then your Venus is square to my Mars. So that would be a double whammy Venus-Mars aspect, where we have the same planet going both ways, either with the same aspect or with a different aspect, but Mars to Venus and then Venus to Mars on both ends, okay? So these double whammies show a major theme of the entire relationship, and sometimes you'll see that people have many, sometimes people have none, but if you do see them, they are definitely a very significant factor in that relationship. Now, where this can show an even stronger relationship theme is when the double whammy aspect, so in that case, Venus to Mars, is also showing up in the composite chart. So the composite chart is different than the Synastry chart. The composite chart is the combined chart of the two people. So it's one separate chart that shows who they become in a relationship. It's like a separate entity that can show a lot more about the couple's future and who they become together. So now when we're looking at the composite chart, after we've already looked at the double whammy in the Synastry, and then we see in the composite chart that Venus is conjunct to Mars. So this is a major theme of this entire relationship, which in Venus and Mars's case, this is a romantic, sexual, passionate, creative, enthusiastic relationship. So you want to look at that. That is a very significant theme for the entire relationship. That is going to characterize like a huge flow of the energy when we have those two double whammy aspects, and then it's also showing up in the composite chart. So that's something to look at, and you'll be surprised at how common it actually is for that to happen. And these double whammies that are then in the composite chart as well show major relationship themes. So another thing that can happen that can show a theme of the relationship is, like, let's say you have a Venus-Pluto aspect in the Synastry, even if it's only going one way, whatever. In the composite chart, you don't have a Venus-Pluto aspect, but you have a Sun-Pluto aspect. Well, that shows that Venus-Pluto aspect, or whatever other Pluto is going on in the Synastry, when you actually get together, it affects a transformation over your sense of self, your identity, the sun in the composite chart, the sun making an aspect to Pluto in the composite chart. So sometimes the aspect in the Synastry will be slightly different in the composite, but the theme is still one of transformation, okay? So that gets a little bit complicated, but I hope you guys can understand what I mean. These themes become actually quite easy to discern once you've kind of figured this out, and it definitely is something that can make client sessions and chart interpretation so much easier when you're able to dissect these themes and then describe them to your clients and to yourself, because then you can understand all of your relationships so much better.